Welcome to my channel. I am an occupational therapist and pediatric OT, and I'm also known as Thriving Little. So if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen lots of different stories, and that has led me to venture over to this YouTube world to see how it goes. So if you're interested, follow along, subscribe. That'll give me some motivation to keep going. But I will be recording videos periodically in a very casual way because I've decided that in my life, if it's not casual, I likely won't do it. So my motto is always better done than perfect. So to tell you a little bit about me and the foundation of regulation, which is really where I start with any child that I work with and any parent that I work with, it's always about regulating emotions. So while I have an Instagram on books that I am constantly reading and information and resources for families, I started the blog and Thriving Littles as a way to put it all out there and then help families connect with what resonates for them. So instead of imposing my beliefs or what I think will be important, it's a way of getting the information out there and helping them see what they're drawn to because we really don't know what's best for any other person as much as us health professionals would love to think so, and that would be much easier. It's all about everybody having their own process. So occupational therapy is very client-centered and client-based, and what that means is that we trust that clients really know what's best for them at the core, and we are the enablers, and we are able to empower independence and participation, whatever that may mean for the client. So with kids, I'm working on things like play, relating with peers, relating with their parents, going to the bathroom, feeding, lots of different things that they may encounter through their lives. So their daily occupations, if you will, is occupational therapy and how I really work as an OT in DIR floor time. So DIR floor time, just a really quick summary of it. It's a really complex, beautiful model in my opinion, because it talks all about the development of the child, the individual differences of the child, and it's very relationship based. So DIR stands for those three things that really infiltrate my practice and are really the core of every child that I work with, no matter what, because regulation and relationship and looking at their profile and the differences that they bring to the table, for better and worse, are all such a pivotal part of helping the child be the best they can be and helping them within their family system, which all really varies. So DIR floor time is definitely always underlying everything that I do and any modality that I work with. So where all of this stuff comes in with regulation is often relationship because we learn to regulate through our primary caregivers. So when we are little and infants and we cry, we learn that an adult will be there to soothe us, and by thousands and thousands of repetitions of that, we're able to later self-soothe on our own. So you need thousands and countless repetitions of soothing with a caregiver that's trusted in order to feel safe and secure before we develop self-regulation on our own. So there's all these different things that come into play, but the three factors that are always at the root are the relationship between the child and the caregiver, the child's preferences, so understanding that every infant is as unique as a fingerprint, if you will. So every infant has a different nervous system. So of course, they will be soothed totally differently than the infant next to them. So we really have to look at what is bringing the infant joy, what is bringing the infant calm, and figure out ways to support this and recognize that it will be different for every single child and every single parent and how that looks. And the next thing I look at is the just relationship overall. So the interaction patterns and how the adult needs to shift their interaction to help better regulate the child. So if the child is kind of low energy, then the adult needs to be higher energy and more affect and more expression to really bring up that child. We call it upregulate the child. And it's the opposite if it's a really kind of more high strung, if you will, infant. They need to be co-regulated or down-regulated by the adult. So we're really looking at the interaction patterns, and in order to really be present for the child, the adult has to be emotionally regulated on their own. So they have to be a level of calm and organized in order to take in and process the infant and really be present in the moment for them. So that's really the interest that I have in DIR floor time and a more mental health model, if you will, of typical occupational therapy. So while occupational therapy definitely has mental health as part of our practice framework, and it's really at the core of what we do. So OT was founded in mental health and realizing how healing it was to use our hands and do activities and really get in there and do, which is really aligned with how I am and how I've always been, which I think occupational therapy resonates with everybody, but once you realize how much doing is healing and how much relationship is at the connection or at the foundation of mental health, the more and more empowering all of these techniques and tips will be. So just remembering that connection is truly the core of it. So no matter how many books we read, no matter how many techniques are out there, no matter how many experts tell you something or the other, it's really about the relationship and being present and helping everybody feel safe and secure in the moment to open up all of the neuro activity that is happening in connecting kids and parents and helping kids be the best that they can be, because when we're feeling safe and secure, all of our higher level thought processes and our higher level motor movement is activated. So that's the gist, and that's why I think this is so important and I'm so passionate about it, because I really realize how it's involved in every single thing we do, whether we like it or not. So the sooner that we realize how our regulation impacts ourselves and everyone around us, the more and more successful we will feel and we will be in our day-to-day lives. So to tell you a little bit about me, oh, there's a doorbell, BRB.